All right, this demo's going down the drains. We're going to talk about some plumbing design. Glad you came and clicked on this particular video. Let's take a look at how we do plumbing in the MEP Productivity Pack in Revit. So I have pulled up here a little restroom plan. And as you can probably see, the final water closets down there at the very end, or rather very top of my screen, do not have any plumbing routed to them. So let's take a look at how we do this in the MEP Productivity Pack. What I'm going to do in my project browser is scroll down to where I've got a bunch of groups. You can see I've got some model groups here. Now I don't typically like groups in Revit to leave them in the model, personally, just because I feel that they sometimes can cause some issues. But these groups are actually very good. They're plumbing assemblies that are pre-built to help you in your plumbing design process. Now I happen to have a couple of chase assemblies right here. I've got a wall-hung chase back-to-back. I've got a wall-hung single. Got a wall-hung ADA back-to-back, and that's actually the one that I want to be using right there. So let's grab this guy, and you can see I've got a whole lot more different assemblies that are all pre-built little plumbing assemblies that we can just drop into our project. Now I'm going to take this wall-hung back-to-back and just drop this in here into my design environment, click to place it, doesn't really matter where, and once I place that, I have the ability to take this group and move it around. Now I'm going to be aligning this with the architect's water closet that they've laid out. Notice I'm not copying and monitoring the architect's water closets. That's very intentional because the copy monitor process is fundamentally flawed. It monitors the fact that the plumbing fixture may exist, and it monitors the position. The problem is if they change their fixture to some other type, it doesn't tell you that unless the physical position changes. And usually when you copy monitor, the fixtures coming out of an architectural model don't typically have very quality connectors on them, so you end up having to replace and fix a lot of that every single time you get updated design models. That's no fun. That's very inefficient. And also, if they move their water closets far enough out of range, it's just going to delete your piping. It won't give you an option when you decide to accept their changes. All unacceptable. So let's get this to align up properly here. I'm going to align this to the water closet vertically here, using the water closet point that I have in my family, or my group right there. And I'm also going to align this to the center line of the pipe right here, and to the center line of the pipe that we've got right there. Now as I've aligned this just has a typical elevation, and coincidentally all of my fixtures along this wall are all kind of following that same elevation, so it's going to make my life real easy. Now once I've got this group placed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup it. I've got it all figured out inside of there, fixed in place where I want it to be. And all that's left is for me to make the connections over here to the other components in this system. Now I'm not going to do this from a plan view because that's not really the most ideal place to be making those types of connections. What I'm going to do instead is go into a 3D view that I've prepared. It's actually a part of my 3D construction documentation. It's my riser diagram. I'm going to take my domestic water riser diagram and I'm going to connect this up. You can see I've got a little pipe sitting over here, the stub from that little assembly that I'd placed. It's a real pipe, just chilling there. And it's actually already a part of the right system. You can see it's domestic cold water, has the right graphics all ready to go. I'm going to grab this fixture right here, this little fitting, this elbow, and I'm going to turn it into a T. And from the end of this T, I can right-click on this and draw some more pipe. And I'm going to change this from the 2-inch size to 1.5 inches perhaps. And I'm just going to draw over this direction a little ways. And it's going to automatically, of course, add in that transition for me. These right here, I want these also to turn into 1.5-inch fittings. So let's go ahead and make that change right now. I'm going to grab both of these on each side. Let's see, maybe I can grab this fitting in the middle. Let's see, will it let me do that? Yeah, let's choose 1.5 and see what it does. So it's made that change, no big deal. Grab this component, drag it over, connect it up. And do I have them aligned? Apparently, those are not aligned. Well, that's no big deal. Let me go back to the plan view and just realign those real quick. You see they're a little bit off right here. Not a problem. We'll just use the align command, align the one to the other, it stretches over, and then I'm going to go back into that 3D view and just reconnect that back up right away. So we'll grab this grip, drag it back, and when I snap it in, one continuous piece of pipe. Now I'm going to undo this just for a moment so you can see what's going to happen here from out here. Let me undo. You can see there are two separate pieces of pipe split apart, not totally connected in just yet. And if I look out here where my flows are, my cold water flow is 0 GPM. That's because it's actually got an open end on the pipe. As soon as I make that connection right there, actually I probably will have to get rid of some pipe out here as well. I don't need that teed off. I can probably make this an elbow connection right there. You can see that as soon as I update this, this becomes 68.5 GPM. That updates immediately. So I've got gallons per minute flowing through this system. And of course, if I really wanted to, and I wanted to read that out as fixture units, I could certainly change this out for a fixture unit tag and show the fixture unit property on those pipes instead. No big deal. So that's all connected up. Similarly, I can go over here to the waste and vent and do something very much the same. I can grab this connection here, and actually before I do this, let's go take a look at what we got. 54 fixture units right there. I don't have any tags up on top. Let's tag this guy real quick here on the vent side. Tag this over here. And you know how vent normally in Revit does not actually calculate out any kind of flow. It's just the way that it works. But what I'm going to do is take this and tell it to show me the fixture units on this pipe, and you can see here I've got 54 fixture units right there as well. In fact, it's balanced right now because I've got equal flow for the vent and for the waste side right here. When I connect this new system in down here, I'm going to want to see that update. So let's go see what happens. Again, 54 fixture units right there. I'm going to drag this over here and make this connect up. When I do that, I should end up with 62 fixture units right there. Up at the top, I still have 54, and that's just because I haven't totally connected in my vent side yet. Let's actually turn this into a sanitary T. You can see that gives me the proper T right there, and I'm going to go ahead and grab this, drag it over, and tie it in to that connector. As soon as I do that up at the top, I should get 0 fixture units, and that's because I have an open connection down here that I should not have. Let's get rid of that, and let's turn this into an elbow. All right, there we go, 62 fixture units. So I have flow on both the vent side, the sanitary waste side. You can see that it's all connected together, even through fittings down here. I've got some fittings in place, and it's letting my sanitary side and my vent side connect together into one complete system. So powerful domestic water plumbing and piping across the board right here. All right, hopefully you find that meaningful. Hopefully you want to see some of our other videos here, like maybe you want to check out the custom gas flows and see how we're getting not just gallons per minute and fixture units, but also cubic feet per hour of gas. That might be interesting to you, or any of our other content we have in this list. So go ahead and click on one of those links, and we'll see you in another video. Thank you for watching.